to Speed Scene Live, the #1 online drag racing TV show and the only show dedicated to the sportsman racer. Brought to you by Currie Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and theFoat.com. With your hosts, Diana-Mite, Bruce Barker, Scott Lucky Hudson, Alex the Cargirl Rosio, Hot Rod Bob Beck, plus Dar Hawthorne and Donnie Couch.
Hey, we're back. Man, it has been a long time, and we are happy to be here. My name is Lucky. Over here is the beautiful, the talented Diana-Mite.
Welcome to Tuesday night, you guys. We missed you.
We've got Hot Rod Bob Beck, who never left. He was here the whole time, right?
I didn't go anywhere.
Yes,
My pillow's over in the corner.
And Bruce Barker, of course, running the controls one-handed because he was in a incredible motorcycle accident. We've got all the footage later.
This is Bob's pillow, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes. You know, I've been out on the road for a while. I went to the Unlimited Off-Road Expo in Louisville, Kentucky. Then I headed over to the Ultimate 64 drag race. Somebody went home with a check for $50,000. Wow. Was it me? No.
No, you're here.
I'm here. And I also ended up at the NHRA Hot Rod Reunion. And we're going to tell you about a lot of that stuff. We've got some great off-road coverage tonight. I want to let everyone know that we will also be talking to Kelly from the Pro Tree Racing Association in Canada about a great race this weekend called War in the North. It's at St. Thomas Raceway Park, July 3rd and 4th. And it's going to be a great drag race. It's going to also have the Sparta Small Tire Shootout. This is the inaugural race. So we're hoping this is going to be a great deal. RPM Magazine's involved, as well as the PTRA. I want to let everyone know that Irwindale, we broke the news here on Speed Scene Live. Irwindale, July 11th, will be a kickoff race on Saturday. Come on out. Yeah, that's right, Saturday. And it ain't Thursday night, it's Saturday racing. And Pink's All Out is going on right now. It's loading in. Everyone's getting ready for a big Pink's All Out deal. That's happening this weekend at the Rock, Rockingham. And Bob, you're a pretty cool guy. What are you going to tell us tonight?
We're going to talk about how to keep your hot rod cool with the Radiator Lady and switching over from brass to aluminum.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just did it, and wow, what a difference it made. I'm cool in the shade now.
Dang, I just bought a super cool radiator, put the old tanks on a brand new one, haven't put it in the car yet, so I don't know how it'll do. But I did not ask the guy whether this new core is aluminum. Well, perhaps it is.
Yeah, you have to look at it and see. Usually they don't paint the aluminum.
Oh, okay, maybe it's not then.
So if
it's
yours
black.
is black, yeah, you've probably got a brass radiator.
Ah, well, what do you know?
It worked, I mean, for decades, centuries. Almost.
Centuries almost.
Now, I noticed when I was in Kentucky, where it can get a little warm sometimes, all the really big name bracket racers have huge aluminum radiators on their cars so that they can run them, come back to the pits, boom, they're ready to go racing again.
Well, and here in Southern California, of course, it's been 100 degrees lately, so, it's sort of top of mind. So, Bob, that's what's coming up on the Great American Auto Scene. Also coming up on the show, the world's most badass Camaro, Big Red Camaro.
Oh, man, that car is so cool. It does Bonneville, the Texas Mile, drag racing, road racing, and it is the world's most popular 69 Camaro.
That is a capable car with a capital C and a capital C. Also, Jeg Coughlin, Dale Pulte. Am I saying Dale's name right? I get that wrong every time.
You got it right.
Super Gas, Super Comp World Champ Tommy Phillips, Pro Mod Racer Dina Parisi, and more. Man, that's all on upcoming shows. You know it's going to be a hot July.
And what we would like to do first thing is say a special thanks to Hot Rod, Bob, Alex, Donnie, and Dar for hosting the show. They did a great job while Lucky and I were on hiatus. And, well, like he just got back from a month-long tour of Kentucky.
A month?
Yes, he had a great time.
He don't talk no different.
No, he did when he called me on the phone. He certainly did.
I did when I was back there.
So funny.
He did the NHRA Hot Rod Reunion at Bowling Green. I joined him on that one. He also did the Ultimate 64 race at Clay City, and he was at the Unlimited Off-Road Expo. He had a phenomenal time, him and his dog Colt.
That's right. Race Dog Colt, man, we saw so many great people. We had a good time. Bruce, you've probably got some photos and stuff from Louisville, Kentucky. It's the Unlimited Off-Road Expo, and this is sort of like a like a mini. Let me just change it. It's like a SEMA trade show with a racetrack
In the dirt.
built in the dirt. Yeah, they build this track from scratch, and then after the event, they disassemble the track. They level it out. You notice I was parked a little close to the airplanes there.
Yeah.
And
they fly right over the fairgrounds.
Yeah, they like to land. We were in the landing area. Thank goodness there were no airplane crashes that weekend because, that would have been nasty.
Oh, look at that.
I mean, look at this. They put rocks, hills. They had hill climbs. There were so many cool facets. And, you could go into the building. You could see the booths. You could come out. You could watch guys in Jeeps and mud crawlers and all different types of buggies on the track. It was really a neat way to sort of keep things moving and instead of just being a static show. And I grabbed a picture of this Jeep right here because I noticed that a lot of the Jeeps at these events run the Currie axles. They run a lot of the, you'll notice right there,
Oh, sure.
a lot of the Currie products. Currie makes a lot of great off-road equipment, but I was the only drag car on display, the only car in the whole place with a parachute on the back.
Did they try and get you to go up the rocks there?
They didn't ask me to go. There's Colt right there.
There you go.
The race dog.
Yeah, I did get some offers to go, and I mean, look at this is the example of some of the hardcore Currie rear end. This is the F9, the fabricated housing that Currie is making now that is really popular, and this was the Blue Torch Fabworks, and it's amazing to me to watch these guys because they get on this dirt and you're thinking, wow, that looks really rough, and then they just floor it. They just go. Bruce, do you have any videos? I think we've got a couple videos that might show what happens when you're on the track. Of course, they had a lot of side-by-sides happening, which are like the, the little stuff. Oh, this is some of the big.
Oh, my
look
goodness.
at that.
Oh, my goodness.
Look at that. I mean, these guys, they crawl out of holes. They go over mountains. And
Did
some
any of them flip backwards? It looks like they could almost do that.
Oh, yeah, all the time. In fact, watch this thing go over the top.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh.
And, it's got to hurt to hit like that, but they have so much travel in the suspension. And it's kind of cool because everybody gets to watch and they get to stand around. And this is what happens when you brake.
Ouch.
They don't call the tow truck, they call the backhoe. And they take you off the course.
Would that be called a hoe truck?
A ho ho.
I think I would,
I think he's got a strap on. Look.
Yeah.
Oh, good morning,
I got that one.
Wow. Hey, I think
Did
there's
our
one more
audience?
shorty video here.
Let's see, what do you have?
Let's see, what do we got?
And this
here?
is a
Take look.
once-a-year type event. And if you're an off-road fan, if you like, you can not only go to the show, you can look at the booths, you can watch the racing. They also have a ton of activities. You can drive your own vehicle on the track.
Really?
Yeah, it's open from time to time for people to just go on. They also had a really cool cruise. Now check this out.
Yeah.
Imagine this happening to you. The mayor of the city said, hey, I'm going to sign this proclamation that makes it legal for all these vehicles without license plates, without insurance, without registration, without safety equipment, to get on the freeway, drive down the freeway, go to the zoo. Underneath the zoo, they have these tunnels, and we're going to drive these under the tunnels We're going to park at a bar. We're going to party all night, and then you can get in that same vehicle and drive back to the show.
You're not in Kansas anymore.
And not
or
only,
California.
Not only did he make it legal, but the local police escorted the vehicles.
Oh, jeez.
And everybody had a great time, and the police came out to the show, and everybody just loved it.
You know what? Kudos to that mayor because
Yeah.
he was smart. He knows this event brings a ton of money into that area, and he's promoting this event. And
the hotels
I
were
can't
full.
even say how
Yeah.
The
great that
restaurants
is for
were full.
the city and the surrounding areas. I wish more politicians would do what's in the best interest of their communities.
What are you talking about? That's blasphemy.
The event, the cruise, they were expecting 200 or 300 vehicles. 1,100 vehicles showed up, and we're talking about a ton of people. Everything's packed. When they went to the downtown area, every restaurant, every bar, every store was loading up their cash registers.
And Louisville's a beautiful place to go to. There's
It is
lots
a
to
great
see there.
place.
Yeah.
And they also did a deal where everybody on the cruise threw money in a jar, and they raised several $1,000s for the local charities in the town. So it was a win-win deal. No problems, no accidents, no fights, no arrests. All good.
Cool.
All good for the city. So really a great deal. You know, Bruce, we're talking about off-road stuff.
Yeah.
I think you have a clip that shows Casey Currie, one of the best off-road racers in the country, talking about his Aeromotive fuel system.
I'm Casey Currie, driver of the number 2 Monster Energy Pro Light. I race in the Lucas Oil and the Torque Series. Also do everything else in the dirt. I started racing motorcycles when I was super young, and when I was 18, I made the change from motorcycles to trucks. My race truck is basically a Pro Light. It's a complete tube chassis. The chassis was built right here at Casey Currie Motorsports. We do everything from suspension design to chassis design to all the building of it right here. Off-road racing is a form of racing that is like nothing else. It's 20 minutes of all out. You're driving at 100% all the time. We have so many jumps and bumps and corners and obstacles that keep the gas moving all over the place. You know, you got to keep the carburetor or fuel injection consistent. So, you know, having a good fuel system is very important. You know, Aeromotive plays a huge role in our fuel system. You know, with the new dual Phantom, the whole setup is an in-tank setup. Having 2 fuel pumps that are separately wired, you can basically run one, or you can run the other, or you can run both. So if you have 2,000 horsepower, you can get the fuel needed to make the car run at 100%. With both pumps inside the tank, there's no heating issue. So if you're out and it's 120 degrees outside, the fuel is keeping your pumps at a consistent temperature. Running our trucks at 100% for 20 minutes, you know, we're putting our trucks to the ultimate test. And with the fuel pumps being on the bottom of the tank, there's no chance of air getting in there or any sort of debris getting in the way of that fuel getting into the carburetor. With the foam and the baffle, you know, this system is basically flawless. You can put this inside of any tank. With the foam, it's going to stop slosh, and with the baffle on the bottom, it holds the fuel trapped inside there, so you're always getting fuel. The system having a return inside the middle of the baffle, it allows that extra fuel to be at the pumps at all times. In the 4 years that I've been running their fuel pumps, I've actually never had an issue. And you know, with the dual Phantom, it basically eliminates the fuel pumps getting hot. It weighs basically nothing. And having everything in the tank, you got 2 fuel pumps that you can run on 2 separate switches, and it has the return built in. It's all built into one unit that makes it the ultimate system.
You know, I'll admit, one of the things I like about that Phantom is it's obviously, just by watching that video, it's a very easy hookup.
Yeah.
All you do is you supply power to one pump and the other pump, put them on separate switches, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Well, you think about it, you're using it in a racing system there, but on street cars now, with a lot of guys going to fuel injection, high-tech ignition and fuel delivery systems, that pump is ideal for a hot rod or pro street car.
Well, he was talking about the prevention of sloshing. And, you know, when you're taking off, when you're drag racing, you're getting a lot of that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's pretty phenomenal.
Yep, that is an amazing system, and it looks cool. It's compact.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that it's inside the pump, so it stays cool. You can't get it dirty, especially the rock crawlers. You're not going to hit the pump with a rock and tear it off, because we all know that's bad.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that doesn't help things.
Hey, let's take a commercial break, and when we come back, Bob, let's get cool.
We are.
Hi, my name is Damian Gardner, driver of the Scott Sales Alexander No. 4 Sprint Car. And when I'm not at the track, I'm watching Speed Scene Live.
M&H Tires, makers of racing tires that give you the best bite for the buck. You've paid a lot for that horsepower. Make sure you use it all. M&H Tires has the best compounds available for maximum traction. Go to mandhtires.com. That's mandhtires.com. Buy direct and save at the website and mention the Speed Scene for a 5% discount. That's right, mandhtires.com. Call them at 661-324-4773. M&H Tires has tech guys ready to answer your questions or to recommend the best tire for you, slicks or DOT. M&H Tires has it all. M&H were the first to create racing tires for muscle cars and also the first to create racing tires for sport compact cars. Legendary M&H Tires. Shop online. Mention the Speed Scene and save 5%. Get the best racing tires, great personal service, and save 5%. Go to mandhtires.com or call them at 661-324-4773. mandhtires.com.
Welcome back to Speed Scene Live, the #1 online drag racing TV show. Brought to you by Currie Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and TheFote.com.
All right, welcome back to another Tuesday night under the lights here at Speed Scene Live. Back with us once again is the lovely Diana-Mite.
Welcome.
And with her chaperoning her here is always Lucky.
There ain't no chaperone in that girl. No. Yeah.
Working the board with one wing is the lovely Bruce.
Hey,
Parker.
I got 10th of another wing.
You
right
do,
there.
you do. Yes,
There you go.
he had a horrendous.
Slap it for us.
Fifth, by the way. I'm sorry.
Yeah, happy feet now, right? Yeah, you look like a penguin.
But yeah, there you go. That's
There you go.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Hey, and welcome once again to Speed Scene Live, and you've got guests again here on Speed Scene Live. I'm Hot Rod Bob, and with us, going to explain how to keep your cool is Kathryn from the Radiator Lady. She is the Radiator Lady. How you doing, Kathryn?
I'm great, Bob. How are you?
I am doing great. Now, we met about a year ago, and we got to talking about things. I built my hot rod about 30 years ago using the most high-tech brass radiator I could find, and had it built, 4-row. It'd been working okay, but my car would run between 190 and 200, 212 degrees. You, after our discussions, I didn't think I had a problem, but I decided to try one of your radiators, and I got to say, I've got a problem now. I mean, the temp doesn't get above 140. I mean, no changes other than that, and I've got your electric fan. I eliminated my mechanical fan. I've got your aluminum radiator in it, and it fit right in, slid in place perfectly. Why? We see a lot of guys doing aluminum, but why is that aluminum doing so well?
There's no lead in it.
There's no
lead is what ruins the brass copper radiators.
Really?
Really? Yeah. I mean, otherwise they would be better, but the lead.
Now you custom make what's needed, and we're showing the catch cans or the puke tanks, and you custom make those to everyone's specifications if they want them. You've got your own standard versions, but you make a lot of different catch cans. So that's also important too. For years I didn't run one, so whenever the expansion would happen, the fluid just came out the bottom and it was gone.
Right. Yeah, the catch cans keep the air out of the radiator for you.
Oh, that helps too, because otherwise you get air pockets that heat up. Now, the ones you do specialty radiators. It's not a one size fits all.
Nope, we do a billet radiator. It looks like it's been carved. It is handmade, but it looks like it's been carved out of billet.
Wow, and these work in general extremely well. I know, like in my case, I don't have a real high-performance motor. I've got a little 305 Chevy V8, and it cooled it tremendously. Now, are the flow characteristics better on aluminum than they are in the brass?
Yes.
Okay.
Barely.
Now, Kathryn, it seems like when you guys make a radiator, it's not just a radiator, it's kind of a system. You have the whole deal. You have everything working together to make it the most efficient way it can. Is that how you look at it?
Correct. Yeah, we want you to have the easiest possible cooling system out there. I've got a customer, 829 horse in his Chevy truck.
Wow.
Yeah, and he drives it in bumper to bumper stop and go traffic and has no problem now.
Man, I'm thinking, Kathryn, that I made a bit of a mistake. We were talking right before the show started. This is Bruce, by the way, from Speed Scene Live, and I have been dealing with what seems to be an engine running a little bit too warm. It's a brand new motor in an old Lincoln, and I went for a new core, a new big fat, multi-row core in the original radiator with the original tanks on the top and bottom. Something tells me I should have come to you instead.
Well, because my husband has been studying and building cars since 1973, it kind of helps with what I do because we go together, right? And so if I have any issues with your car, I can go to him and ask him the technical questions, and he'll straighten it out. He'll help me, or he'll help you, the car owner, to get everything that you need to get that car running efficient and cool as it could be.
Now,
even with AC, because we're in the 110 degree heat out here in the desert, and we have no problems.
Now, I noticed, and your husband and I spoke at the LA Roadster Show a couple of weeks or so ago, and he's even running one in his Rambler.
Yes, that's true.
But you custom make them. You make a complete system. Now, you've seen a lot. There's his Rambler right there.
Hey, I've seen that Rambler up at Bakersfield before.
He drives that thing all over the place.
I have. You notice it when it drives around.
Yeah, I guess you would,
It's a little hard to miss the yellow suspension, and how many Rambler wagons do you see mile high in the sky? But you use what you make, and it works. You test everything out. You custom made the puke tank for my car, so it fits right on the side. The cooling system, the radiator, just bolted right in, slid right in place. And I wasn't too sure, and I knew my patience isn't where it should be. So when I had mine put in, I had a friend that has a shop put it in, and he came back to me afterwards and said he should have bought yours radiator versus the ones that he's been using because it went in so easy. Now, we're showing the tank. I believe this is the tank you just made for your husband's Rambler.
Boy, it looks beautiful.
It's shaped like a rocket, and you can see it's billet.
Yeah, that is so nice.
Mm-hmm.
I meit's just cool.
Aren't those beautiful? And we make them so the tubes go all the way up to almost the cap. So no air gets back in there. They're awesome little catch cans, basically.
Yeah, and your tanks are a work of art. Here's one that's one of the billet ones you talked about. It's milled, it's shaped, it's show quality, And even mine, I took mine when I got it out of the box. I took a little polishing compound to it, and there's what it looks like.
Wow.
Looks like chrome.
It does. You know what? And a lot of people like a lot of bling on their engine.
Who is that, Diana-Mite? Who likes that bling? Yeah.
That's me, of course. And if you've got one of those old brass radiators, how you say it, Bob, by the way. Radiator, not radiator. Is that too funny, Catherine?
What you talking about, darling?
Anyway, we love shiny things, and every picture that I'm seeing on here would just add to the engine compartment of whether it's a show car, a race car, or your everyday vehicle. And all of us have looked down at that temperature gauge. And once you're approaching 180, you get up to 190, 200, you're starting to sweat. And if you don't keep your car cool, what's going to happen to that head gasket. You're afraid. You usually pull it over, cool it down, do what you need to do. But it sounds like these are phenomenal products, and they're beautiful.
Yeah, like I said.
Thank you.
Yeah, all I did was bolt in your radiator, put on the electric fan, took off radiator. I bolted in that cooling system, and no other changes to the car. I took off the mechanical fan. All I'm running is the electric one, and put the system in. And the temperature drop was 70 degrees.
Wow, it's phenomenal.
That is a huge drop.
Is that in your Plymouth?
Yeah, in the coupe. Yeah.
I cannot believe that.
You're like slapping yourself on the back of the head right now, aren't you, Bruce?
I am, because I honestly, Catherine, I picked my radiator up yesterday. Oh, man, I'm just spanking myself.
You should have waited for the show to find out more, and you would have learned about the Radiator Lady.
Sarah will be spanking you later.
Now, you also...
totally different reason.
Catherine, let me ask you a question. I'm not a radiator expert, but it seems to me that, like a lot of other products in the world of automotive, technology has kind of increased over the years. So those of us that have been into cars, for decades, things change, and your product is a better product because of the technology now has enabled you guys to be able to make a better product.
Correct.
Now, Catherine, if someone go ahead.
The latest core design, people want to say, "Oh, can I have a 4-row?" Basically, they'll say, and I'll have to explain to them that that's old-fashioned the way they're thinking. 4 rows aren't like they used to be. A 2-row is as big as a 4-row these days.
Yeah. Huh.
So it's so much different.
And I remember getting a 4-row for my '75 Chevy Dually tow truck that I would haul the race car in, and it really didn't work that well. No, that was the old school radiator,
and that's what I've got had in my coupe was a 4-row, and going to your system, and you custom make the radiators for the customer. You talk with them, you get the specs on the vehicle, you find out what the vehicle is, and I'll tell you, like I said on mine, it was just slid in place, bolted in perfectly.
What do you know?
Now, if someone's got a question about an aluminum system from you, how do they contact you?
Oh, okay.
Either my phone number, 951-219-4707, or theradiatorlady.com.
Okay, and then you've also got a Facebook page.
And the facebook.com/radiatorlady.
Okay, and now on that, there are a lot of photographs. We've been showing some of them of some of the cars and the pieces that you make, and you and your husband will work with the individual to make sure the system that you sell them is delivered as needed.
Correct. Yeah, I don't sell anything universal. It's all going to be a direct fit.
Okay. Well, good.
Well, Catherine, we appreciate you calling in, and theradiatorlady.com, that's your website?
That's my website, yep.
Well, it's great, and Bob talks so highly of you.
Yeah.
You don't let your husband find out, okay?
All right.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, and we'll see you at a swap meet or car show near you.
Well,
that's right. All right, guys. Yep. Port National.
All right. We'll see you then.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Well, Bob, you've had that car a lot of years.
Yeah.
You've driven that car with a lot of different combinations. You and that car are kind of like an old married couple. So, when that temperature comes down, you really notice it. You don't just go, I don't know. Is it cooler? I don't know. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can tell because you've got a lot of history.
Mm-hmm. I definitely have.
Well, remember all the trouble we had with my race car, Lucky, when we first started racing out of Pomona. And, it got up to 110 degrees, temperature-wise, but the car was going up to 200, 220. And an aluminum radiator and, of course, my Messier water pump saved the day.
Yep.
I still swear by that Messier water pump, but it was a combination of things. And the aluminum radiator was a big deal.
Well, we used what they call like the Scirocco style, the small aluminum radiator, because that was the style for a long time with race cars. But when I went back east, I noticed all the big hitters have huge radiators.
And they're aluminum, right?
Oh, yeah, they're all aluminum. And they all have, like a nice fan shroud, which is obviously part of it.
Yeah.
And then the fans. But I think that it might be time for us to upgrade and think about a bigger radiator because, you might get a little extra weight. But, you can control that temperature well.
Aren't those people back east, like, racing, like, maybe, aren't they getting, like, 8, 10, 15 runs in one day?
Oh, more than that.
We're getting, like, 2,
The Ultimate 64, they raced until 6 o'clock in the morning. I
think that's why they need those big, big radiators, Lucky.
Forget the radiator. What about the driver? How do you keep him going? That's what I want to know. Well, listen, we're going to talk to Kelly Cooper from the Pro Tree Racing Association. We're going to talk about the War in the North race. And so, Bruce, let's get that last commercial break out of the way. And when we come back, it's all drag racing all the time right here on Speed Scene Live.
I'm Clay Milliken, 6-time Top Fuel champion, driver of the Parts Plus Great Clips Top Fuel Dragster, and you're watching Speed Scene Live.
Take your vehicle's racing performance to an all-new level with a custom racing engine from Paul Williams Specialties. Put PWS's 30-plus years of experience to work on your race car, muscle car, any type of high-performance engine. PWS can build your winning combination from scratch or refresh and improve your current engine. Working on a project? Don't waste money through trial and error. Consult with Paul Williams first. Rev up your performance with Paul Williams Specialties, helping championship-level drivers become champions through better performance and reliability.
For over half a century, Currie rear-end components have been twisting out the torque and taking the punishment. And the new Currie lineup is stronger than ever. Some of the world's most capable, hardest-working vehicles depend on Currie gears, which is why you can too. Street cars, hot rods and resto rods, drag cars, rock-crawling four-wheel drive vehicles, whatever you're piloting, Currie expertise and rock-solid design means the parts will do their job, so you can do yours. Check out Currie's custom rear ends, featuring a full line of upgrades, components, and installation options. The Currie Crate rear ends lineup offers ultra-strong construction on third members and carrier assemblies. And other underside parts, like correct link steering systems, keep your four-wheeler pointed where you want it. Add in a wide variety of solid, purpose-built suspension and brake components, and you've got one tough, ready-to-go machine. Grab a hold of a Currie rear end. Talk to the experts at 714-367-2679 or view the complete line online at currieenterprises.com.
That has served to defend our great country and our freedom. All of us here in the United States of America would like to offer our sincere appreciation for all that you do and all that you've done. To every family that has made a sacrifice for us, we thank you.
60 years. That's a long time for a company to do any one thing. Doing it right while sticking to your founding values. Now that takes hard work and dedication. For 60 years, Hedman's all-American workforce has been devoted to manufacturing the very best headers any team of craftsmen can build. That's 60 years of cutting, 60 years of bending, 60 years of welding, more than 2 million in all, and every set made right here at home. At Hedman Headers, we build all American horsepower, then back it up for life. Hedman Headers, made in the USA.
Welcome back to Speed Scene Live, the #1 online drag racing TV show. Brought to you by Currie Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and theFote.com.
Welcome back. I'm Diana-Mite with Speed Scene Live. It's another Tuesday night. We're so happy to be back with you. We've got Scott Lucky Hudson, Bob Beck, and Bruce Parker. The whole gang is here to welcome you back.
Did I do that in the right direction,
I
Bob?
don't know. Let's see if we can do a mirror image.
Does it really matter which direction you're waving your hand in?
I don't know if
It kind of reminds you that if you watched I Love Lucy.
Yeah.
And she had that skit one time where they came out to Hollywood, and Harpo Marx was on the other side of the
you're really dating
doorway.
yourself there, Bob.
There's a bunch of people going, Harpo Marx?
I Love Lucy? Huh?
And they sat
You just
there
lost half our
in the
audience. All
doorway.
the kids are gone.
Kids?
Sorry, guys.
Back when
30
I
and
was
under.
barbecuing that T-Rex in the cave,
in the olden days.
I found this thing called fire.
Yeah, anybody 30 and under is going, what else is on?
Yeah. Well, you know
what else is on?
I think it's time to change direction and go all the way north, up to the Great White North, where men are men and women are women.
That's where I like to go, where men are men. You know, like John Wayne, like Ronald Reagan.
Like not
bring
in,
back real men.
Like in government? None of that stuff? None of those
Don't
guys?
go there, you guys. Don't go there. We're going back to racing.
You even want to get me started. I'm talking about real men.
Quick, edit button. Okay, we're going to go up to Canada, and there's a great association up there called the PTRA. This is the Pro Tree Racing Association. It's a group that does a lot of really cool races, but they've got something new, something different happening this weekend.
Ooh.
Diana-Mite, why don't you bring that young man on, and let's find out about this new race.
Well, let's welcome Kelly Cooper. Welcome to Speed Scene Live.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for
I
being
always
here.
love talking to you guys.
Kelly, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, and you do such a great job with the PTRA, but this weekend is something different. You've got something called the War in the North. And
that is correct. We partnered up with RPM Magazine so we could be part of their Extreme War events, and this is the first series in the race in their series, and this is the War in the North at they got a little thing called This Is Sparta.
Cool.
I like that.
Cool. Do they walk around with their shirts off, and their muscles
That's right.
showing?
We're real men. You were just talking about it earlier.
Yeah, man. I'm flying to Canada.
Well, the Sparta is a small tire shootout, right? So that's for the radial tire and the 10.5s.
That's right. Sparta is the actual town where St. Thomas Raceway Park is located.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's where the Sparta comes from. But
cool.
the classes we have this weekend are just fantastic. We have such a variety. We've got the Real Street Outlaw, which these guys will be doing a 25-mile cruise and then coming back in and racing. There's a guy named Boo King. He's coming from all the way from New Brunswick with his nuclear banana 67 Camaro, taking on all comers. I've heard the rumors of this car goes 690s in the quarter. Now we'll only be running the 8th in this class, but there's a whole bunch of guys coming from New Brunswick to prove that they have the fastest street car.
Now you have a website done by, what's the name of the company?
RPM Magazine?
No, your website, the PTR.
Oh, our website. Oh, Nerd Pickle.
Nerd Pickle, and now you've got the nuclear banana.
Pickles and bananas. I mean, is there some innuendo going on there that we'd like to share?
Happening, I think, here.
That's right. You guys are men. You're real men.
That's right. We're not afraid to.
You're not politically correct, and I love it.
Okay, well, listen, Kelly, the PTRA, the Pro Tree Racing Association. You guys are doing a bunch of index class races at this, right?
Yeah, that's something new we brought on just for this event.
That's some of my kind of racing. I love doing the index stuff.
I love index racing too, and that's why we wanted to include it in this series. So normally this track is 8th mile, but we've opened it up for these index classes because we felt that the track is safe enough and the racers are ready to race. So we've got 990 is going to be sponsored by sistersinspeed.com. We brought in 1090 class, which is sponsored by RPM Magazine, and 1190 Index, which is sponsored by Dave Cooper and Tom Craig. And all of these classes are guaranteed to pay $500 to win.
All right,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, you're talking about opening it up to quarter mile?
Yes. Mm-hmm. It is a quarter mile track. They just, for insurance purposes, they drop it down to 8th, and but.
Well,
we
a lot
feel
of the
that at 140 miles an hour, the track is more than safe.
A lot of the small tire cars, they like to run 8th mile. They're geared for 8th mile. And even out here with the NMCA, some of the classes, they'll run quarter mile all day, and then they'll say, okay, it's time for this class. We're going to 8th mile.
Yeah,
that's right.
So that's real normal. Now, this is the War in the North race is this weekend, July 3rd and 5th. 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and it is at St. Thomas Raceway Park, which is a great place to race.
Absolutely, it's a fantastic track. It's a grassroots kind of track. We call it a Southern style racing, obviously because of the 8th mile aspect of it, right? And just the hometown, the feel. The track has an ambiance that no other track I've been to has, and we want to display that to the world.
Now, we talked about the index class, and we talked about the Sparta small tire shootout, but there's a couple other deals on the flyer. What's the Real Street Outlaw class all about?
The Real Street Outlaw class, that's what I was talking about, the class where these guys are going to go for a cruise.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they got it.
There's a couple classes in there. There's Real Street Outlaw, and then there's Plate Nitrous class. Back in the day, this style of racing started in Ontario at St. Thomas Raceway Park, and it was called Nitrous Nationals. They used to have it on a Wednesday night. So Chris Bureau at RPM Magazine's idea was to bring this back with the Nitrous Nationals. So they have two classes there. There's Nitrous Outlaw, which is basically any Pro Mod nitrous, whatever you can bring to the track and spray the heck out of it. But the plate nitrous street class is the small tire, and they're only allowed to have a plate, stock suspension, and those guys have to go for a street cruise with the Street Outlaw guys.
So when you say a plate, it's kind of like a fogger?
No, it's a plate that fits underneath the carburetor. Between the carburetor and its intake, so no foggers are allowed. It has to be a plate system only.
Okay. For
the plate nitrous class. Real Street Outlaw, there's no rules other than the fact that it's got to be, it's an outlaw class with a cruise, any chassis, any tire, anything goes. All the rules for all these classes are at rpmwarinthenorth.com.
Now, Kelly, how did PTRA hook up with RPM Magazine and the War in the North race?
We have been associated with Chris and Trish Bureau and RPM Magazine since we started racing. I would not be talking to you on the phone if it wasn't for RPM Magazine. Back in the day when we were looking for something different to do, we were bored with the local bracket scene and really had no desire to spend any money and build a car. We went and checked out one of the RPM extreme events they had, I can't remember what year it was, but anyways, that's when we started racing, and we started racing with these guys, and we got to know them. I advertised with them. I've been featured in their magazine a couple times with different cars that I've built, and myself and my wife, and so I've had a relationship with these guys for a while, and I talked to Chris and said, maybe we should bring something to Sparta, I think last year or the year before. And Chris looked into it and said, yeah, I think we should do the same thing. These guys put on great events. It's not just about the racing. They have Easter Seals, which is an organization for kids who, I don't know how to say it, kids with disabilities and stuff. They're anybody who has a child with a disability, they're getting in for free, their whole family.
Oh, nice. I like that.
Yeah, they're bringing up a big blow-up tent and stuff for all the kids, and they're going to have a draw, or I think they're going to let some kids go for rides in race cars around the pits on Saturday, and maybe down the track. I know they're doing a draw for like a ride in a super stock car, and all the proceeds go to the Easter Seals. So it's more than just drag racing. It's a community event, and it's an event, right? It's not just it's a race. They want it to be the whole event. We also they're bringing in a battle of the jets. I can't remember the last time I've seen two jets go head-to-head, but you'll see it this weekend at St. Thomas Raceway Park. They're bringing in Pyro versus the Northern Warrior, and these guys are going to be making 3 hits over the course of Friday and Saturday, so that'll be extremely exciting too.
I love that stuff where you guys bring all this extra stuff in and the kids get fun and the family's involved and a charity gets a good feeling about drag racing. And, I love drag racing, but I love it when you create a show and an event. And it sounds like that's what's happening. And I love that about the War in the North. And I got to imagine RPM Magazine will have a ton of coverage about this.
Oh, absolutely. They already have. They featured us, actually. We were in the May issue, I think. They did a great 7-page spread on us, which was awesome, to show off some of our racers and show our sponsors that we have a viable series and that this is something you should invest in. RPM Magazine's fantastic, and that's exactly what you just said, Lucky, is exactly what Chris and Trish Bureau's vision is to make this an event that people are going to want to come to every year.
And, I like the fact that you guys are exposing the PTRA to a bunch of different people, and I gotta imagine that there's a lot of the racers that show up for this event that maybe has never raced with you that might come away thinking, I met a bunch of the racers from the PTRA and they were nice guys, and they got some more races coming up. I'm going to get involved and maybe I'll go up and do some of their races.
I really hope so. We're really planning, if we can get 30 cars per class, 30 cars in our Pro Comp or Open Comp class, we'll be paying $1,000 to win each day, each class this weekend. So we're hoping that brings people out. And yeah, you're right. I hope that they see what we're about and see that we're real and we're not out to make money. We're out to provide the best drag racing index Pro Comp style racing experience you can have.
And that's what it's all about: making racers happy, letting them know that, hey man, we're not out here to rip you off. We're not out here to take your money. We're out here to help you have a good day, have a good drag racing experience. Come out, have fun, go home happy. That's what it's all about, right, Kelly?
That's what I think it should be about. Yeah,
it's
exactly.
supposed to be.
Yeah.
Bring the family, have some fun.
Yeah. Right?
Now,
that's why we started it. We didn't start racing so you could be angry. I don't know anybody who has.
No, if you want to get angry, play golf.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Now, Kelly, this is a special event, but I got to imagine that somewhere down the line, a little later on, you're going to have a regular PTRA event. When will that be?
We will have our last PTRA event for this year will be September 12th and 13th.
You don't have nothing during the summer? I mean, there's no snow. What are you guys doing? What are you waiting for?
No, I don't. We got, it was like I said, the track is so popular this year that it was hard to get events in, so we had to take what we could get.
Well, I understand that, and you guys are doing a great job, and we have a lot of fun talking about the Nerd Pickle name, but how can you blame us?
Yeah,
why don't you take a couple minutes and mention some of the other companies that sponsor or work with the PTRA?
Okay, I'm going to go, this is going to take me a couple minutes, but I'm going to go through all the sponsors, because without sponsors, this event would not happen.
All right.
So it's going to take me. We're going to go through. So PTRA sponsors are Boomer and Deb Duquette, Silverbird Towing, Performance Unlimited, Dragon Den Photography, Swick Family Racing, Klotz, Rhino Tech, Chase Installation, Meisner Motorsports, Bears Performance, Westside Performance, Cheapside Auto and London Rust Check, Western Overhead Door, eShine.ca, Boss Racing, CT Collision, Extreme Transmission, Fat Dog, Nerd Pickle, Sisters in Speed, Otis Simon, Canada Steel, Perfect Image, RPM Magazine, Drew's Auto Body, Forest and Forest. And I already mentioned our sponsors for our index classes. For the small tire shootout sponsors, they're putting up $3,500 for the Outlaw class. That's Dirksen Motorsports and Ian Hill Racing and eShine.ca. For their Street King class, they're putting $2,500 up for this class to win. That's brought to you by Lang Speed and Performance and Tim Reed. RPM Magazine, or our quick. That's one thing I didn't tell you about was our Quick 16 class, or X16 class. We're trying something a little bit. If you got time, I can squeeze this out.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, we're trying something a little bit different. I had a group of racers come and present this idea with me, so we're doing a Quick 16 that follows the normal format. The only real difference is that we're allowing them to use a delay box and run off a 500 Pro tree. So this race will be going on Saturday, and that will be brought to you by R&L Racing, Boomer and Deb Duquette, Messenger Freight, Dilts, Piston Hydraulics. They're paying $1,000 to win, $700 to runner-up, $250 for quarters, and it's impossible to lose because if you lose first round, you get $150. So that's a great series, and we're going to try to introduce that into the PCRA, but we thought we'd try this event to see how it goes. Sponsors for RPM Magazine, Mickey Thompson, Carbelt, obviously Lucas and RPM Magazine are joined at the hip, so they have a big deal to do with this. Their Real Street Outlaw class is sponsored by Pro Systems and Harlem Sharp. This St. Thomas Nitrous Nationals, Nitrous Outlaws brought to you by Nitrous Express. The Plate Nitrous Street class is brought to you by Lentec Automatics, Meisner Motorsports, WASP, Clear Shot Customs, and I'm sure there's a plethora of sponsors I couldn't fit on my piece of paper, and I apologize for not mentioning you.
That's okay.
They'll call you in about 5 minutes and let you know.
Yeah, I know.
You did a great job. You went through them fast. You didn't fool around. You got their names out. I did go out and get a hamburger while you were doing that.
Well, that's what I figured. Give me 10 minutes, and I'm going to rhyme this off.
But you know what? It's important because we all appreciate that. And Diana-Mite, you always tell people...
support the sponsors that are supporting drag racing because
Absolutely.
without them, you know what, we don't have drag racing. So it's imperative that, you know what, when you're looking for a radiator, go to the Radiator Lady. When, you know, the people that we're talking about here on this show, they're the ones supporting drag racing.
When you need a website, think of a Nerd Pickle, right?
Or a long banana.
You don't have to be in Canada to get Nerd Pickle to do your website. Right? Power of the internet. That guy, you can call him up anytime, nerdpickle.com, and check him out. The guy's fantastic.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, you tell someone you've got a Nerd Pickle, and they're going to listen to you.
Yeah.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Especially a woman.
It's
Maybe
worldwide.
there's some untapped market the Nerd Pickle should be looking at.
You got it.
Well, Kelly, I want to thank you for calling in. I think this is a great event. You know, it sounds fantastic. I wish I was just a little bit closer. You know, because there's a whole bunch of country between me and St. Thomas, but
just
you know
a little
what?
bit, eh?
One of these days, when I'm out in a boot, I'm coming by.
Out in a boot in my scoot.
There you go. All right, now just to clarify, do you guys have wrinkle wall snow tires?
Yeah, they're called drag radials. I thought we went through this last
yeah.
Touche.
Bob's just yanking your crank there.
Yeah, I know.
All right, Kelly. Well, good luck.
Thank you very much for the time and opportunity. I love your guys' show, and I greatly appreciate you letting me on here.
I appreciate it. We also posted the War in the North flyer on the Facebook page. We posted it on thefote.com. It's on our Twitter feed. It's everywhere. So we're going to go ahead and get that out there so people know, and I hope people support this event because it sounds like a fun event. We need more events like this. It's got something for everybody. Be there.
I agree. There will also be their other event's going to be War by the Shore, and that's going to be July 25th at Thompson Raceway Park in Ohio. So that's on the other side of the lake.
Wow.
Nice.
We're going to that one, too.
Nice.
You can always do War in the South and bring it on down to Southern California.
Well, maybe, we get together, we chat,
we talk,
Chris Bureau, we make something happen.
We'll call it the Mouth from the South.
There you go.
How about that? Yeah. Kelly, thanks a lot. We'll talk to you later.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, we're going to do What's Going On pretty soon, but before we do, Donnie Couch had a chance to sit down and talk to one of the hitters in the industry. A gentleman by the name of Dave Connolly has driven a lot of different stuff. Now he's got a new ride. Let's find out what Donnie found out.
Start of the season, the Winter Nationals. Dave Connolly, normally you're in a pro stock, man. We're catching you in the top fuel pits. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, I think these cars are so fast they blew the doors off. So, yeah, definitely a different change of pace this year in 2015, but enjoying it and having a lot of fun. We had a few little mechanical problems yesterday and didn't have the day that obviously we hoped for, but that's why they made Saturdays, and we're going to try to pick it up today.
Well, I know you ran like a 370 in testing over the winter and not many laps in the car, but you come out here and a lot of pressure on you and nerves, right?
Oh, absolutely. And, again, we went 376 in testing, and, so we got our got our feet wet a little bit there, and that just tells you that this team is more than capable of going out there and putting 370 runs on the board. I mean, just right next door, my partner Larry Dixon threw a 377 up yesterday. So, it's we're gonna put yesterday behind us and really try to show our true colors today.
Right. Well, hey, having Larry Dixon for a teammate, that's pretty cool, huh? You being new to this Top Fuel dragster deal, we know your talent in the Pro Stock car and other classes, but to have Larry Dixon to go to, that's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. Larry's been a big help. I mean, he's 20 years experienced, and I think I'm 2 months experienced. So anything he has to say, I'm definitely going to take in, and just kind of trying to be a sponge out here. A lot of the drivers have offered up little pointers here and there, and I'm all ears right now. So we're again, it's going to take time. It's going to take seat time, but it's these cars, the amount of G's they pull and the amount of horsepower they're making it's incredible, to be honest with you. It's pretty impressive. So we're going to enjoy this year, I believe.
Yeah, well, Bob Vandergrift, team owner, made a big commitment. You guys running out of Schumacher's shop, buying all the parts from there, so he's committed, and it's great to have you in Top Fuel, another fresh face in Top Fuel, and we wish you luck.
Well, thank you, sir, and you're right. Bob made a huge commitment to us and the team, and that alliance with DSR is it's going to pay off. I mean, it already has, and we've seen signs of that, and again, I'm just very blessed that I got this opportunity, and we're going to try to take full advantage of it and go out there and have some fun, bang heads with these guys, and turn on a lot of win lights.
All right, Dave, we'll check with you later on in the event. Hopefully you do good. And
hopefully we'll have more to talk about. Thank you.
Hey, you'll always be somebody to talk about in Top Fuel, so good luck, my friend.
Appreciate it.
All right.
All right, thanks, Donnie Couch. Well done.
Wow.
It's interesting. Donnie always gets the inside info, finds a guy that was a Pro Stock racer, now Top Fuel. Of course, he got his start as a bracket racer, and he's one of the little guys that's come up in the ranks. A little controversial with some people.
Oh, well. That's okay.
Yeah, that's all right.
You need to, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much room.
Hey, if he's just bland like me.
That's what I say.
Yeah, don't be bland like me. You got to make yourself known.
Yeah. Speaking of things that are going on, Bob, I know you're always keeping yourself busy. What are you up to this weekend?
Tomorrow night, it's the monthly cruise night at the NHRA Motorsports Museum at Pomona. Oh, it's going to be great. People start getting there around 2 o'clock, and it goes till 7 o'clock.
Nice.
It's going to be a great night. Dave McClellan is the MC in charge.
He's the best.
You can't miss on Big
We love
Mac.
Dave.
And then on Saturday, I'm going to CBS Studios, and we're going to do a special car show there for the Television and Motion Picture Car Club.
You name dropper.
I am, and we're going to be there. It's going to be a great evening. I'm going to MC that event. So
Ooh, fancy schmancy. You're MCing something for CBS?
Yeah.
OMG.
Yeah, going to be in the studio.
What's MZ stand for? Mr. Charisma?
Yeah, that's
all
great.
these acronyms,
Oh, yeah. Well, over on Radford, just a mere minutes from the
your
Speed
house.
Scene Live studios.
That's right, yeah. CBS Studios, where a lot of TV shows are done. Last year we had the guys from NCIS were there.
Ooh, there's some more name dropping.
Yeah.
Think if Bruce went over there with his crutches, you'd feel sorry for him and let him in with all the movie stars.
Crutches and wind. We could say he got shot down. It was a horrific motorcycle accident. He was racing down the parking lot when all of a sudden the pylon jumped out in front of him.
Dang, you were watching.
Well, we're almost at the top of the hour, so we want to get to what's going on, and what's going on is brought to you by. Do I hear the music? Yes, I do. Currie Racing Rear Ends, Aeromotive, as well as and Hedman.
Big racing.
that was Bruce on his motorcycle, and Hedman Hustler Headers, as well as the Vote.com. And gosh, we've got a lot going on. First and foremost, of course, Pink's All Out this week at Rockingham Dragway.
In the NHRA Hot Rod Reunion at New Hampshire Dragway, August 28th to the 30th.
Hey, we mentioned at the top, Irwindale is back with Saturday Night Racing. You can go there July 11th for the kickoff event. They will also be running an event July 25th and August 22nd. And
Yeah.
Bob, apparently
Yes.
the rumors about Irwindale closing are slightly exaggerated.
Slightly excited. The only thing that's ending in December is the contract. So we no longer have a long-term contract, but we're still running after that. The place isn't going away yet.
How about
we're still alive and racing.
We like to hear that. We need more racetracks in
Yes.
Southern California. We don't want any of them to go away.
No, Diana-Mite, what's going on September?
Well, September 4th through the 6th, that's going to be the Yellow Bullet Nationals at Cecil County.
And September 18th through the 20th, NMCA West returns to Fontana.
And don't forget, every Wednesday night, Industry Hill Speedway. Where am I at? Tuesday night, Speed Scene Live. Wednesday night, I go up to Industry Hills. They've got great food. They've usually got a live band. They've got a bar right next to the. I'm not supposed to say that. Am I?
No,
Hey,
you're not
okay, they got
lucky.
2 bars. All right. Yeah, I've been
And
to
a
them both.
nice taco stand.
You sure that
Great
wasn't like double vision or
Yeah,
something?
well,
After the second bar, yes, you do have double vision.
They have Harley night. They have Hot Rod night. They have great parking. A beautiful facility.
They do. And the Harley, let me tell you guys, if you haven't been to that facility, when you get about 30 Harleys with guys on these Harleys driving in the dirt, it is a hoot.
In
You
a
need
dirt
to
circle.
Bring your cameras because you're going to bust a gut
Especially
watching
after
this
the
thing.
2 bars.
And now they introduce all the speedway motorcycle riders. They have little kids like 8-year-old and up.
Yeah.
It's a great event, a lot of fun, exciting racing, a fantastic facility to go and enjoy a night of fantastic speedway. So
nice.
And also don't forget, we talked to Kelly about the War in the North this weekend. It's a cool race. Diana-Mite, we're out of time.
We are out of time, but we will be back next Tuesday. So, hey, stay tuned. If you can't get enough of Speed Scene Live, go to YouTube. Look at some of those old archive shows. Look us up. We do it all for you, our racers.
We do it all for you. You know, I should mention this, too. I promised, well, I didn't promise, but I said I'll try to get to it. A snakebite, who, Bob, as you know, was on the show last week. This little race right here, we were just talking about St. Thomas Raceway Park.
Oh, yeah.
And this one's Dash for Cash, man.
Wow.
15 grand in cash and prizes. And you got to go to stthomasracewaypark.com to find out more info, because, frankly, I don't have enough info for you. But
You
I
don't.
thought I'd throw that in as part of what's going on.
And I forgot to say one last thing. Well wishes going out to a friend of our show, Papa Joe. Get well soon, dear.
Indeed.
Be back next week, Speed Scene Live.
All right, here's the lineup for now. You know this is going to happen. You know it's like seeing the future. The encore presentation, wait a minute, the encore presentation is like seeing the past. Now I'm confused.
Back to the future.
That's a Back to the Future, says Bob. Yes, that's coming up next. Thanks for joining us. We're back 1 week from right now, right here at Speed Scene Live.
Speed Scene Live TV, the #1 online motorsports TV show. Brought to you by Currie Racing Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and thefoat.com.